Hello students, today I bring for you new chapter Morphology of Flowering Plants. In this chapter we are going to cover morphology of different parts of flowering plants such as root, stem, leaf, inflorescence, flowers, fruit and seed, and description of one family, that is Solanaceae, which is in your 2024-25 syllabus. This topic we are going to cover in this chapter. So carefully listen and watch this video. First of all, what do you mean by morphology? Morphology means it is the study of external form of an organism. And though we are going to study about flowering plants, so all the flowering plants are grouped as angiosperms. So angiosperms means flowering plant. Angiosperms are characterized by presence of root, stem, leaf, flower and fruits. And main part of flowering plants are root system, which is the underground part, and shoot system above the ground. So we are going to cover all these parts of a plant, flowering plant or angiosperm. As you can see, in root system there are two type of roots are there: primary root, lateral root, and in shoot system, stem, internode, node, axillary bud, petiole, apical bud or terminal bud, blade, which is also called leaf portion. So let's start. The root. It is the underground part formed from radicle of embryo. It is the underground part formed from radicle of embryo. You all are familiar with the term radicle in class 10th. Radicle is the future root that is present in the seed. So as you can see here in the diagram, it is a seed and you can easily distinguish the radicle. Okay, so there are three different type of root systems are there: tap root system, fibrous root system and adventitious root system. So let's start the first one, tap root system. It consists of primary root or tap root and its branches, lateral root such as secondary root and tertiary root. As you can see the diagram, it is the root apex, root area, where you can easily distinguish primary root or the main root. As you can see, it is the primary root or main root, and there are some lateral roots such as secondary root. Then again, if there is a branches present, then these are called tertiary root, seen in dicotyledons. So tap root mostly seen in dicotyledons. Okay, dicot plants having tap root system. Primary root is elongated from radicle and the main root or primary root that is elongated from radicle. Example, mustard plant. Next slide. Tap root system. It consists of primary root, tap root and branches. Okay, same points are there. You can see the diagram, mustard plant like this. Next, second is fibrous root system. Fibrous means in monocotyledons. In monocot plant, primary root is short-lived and is replaced by large number of roots. As you can see, there is no main root is there, no primary root is there, because primary root is short-lived. What is the line saying? Short-lived, and it is replaced by large number of variety and thin roots. These roots originate from the base of the stem to form fibrous root system. These roots originate from the base of the stem. These roots are originate from the base of the stem, as you can see from here. Okay, it is the base of the stem and to form fibrous root system. Example, wheat. Next, third is adventitious roots. Roots that are arise from parts other than radicle. Means the root which grow other than radicle. Okay, other part of plant except radicle, that are called adventitious roots. Example, grass, monstera and banyan tree. As you can see in the diagram, adventitious roots. Okay, in banyan tree you can easily distinguish the adventitious roots, like the roots are coming from stem region, branches. Okay, so it is not from radicle, that's why it is called adventitious root. Next is region of root, the parts of root. Okay, so root have these 5 different regions or parts. This diagram is from your NCERT. First of all, root cape. You can distinguish root cape. Here it is present, apex of the root. Okay, region of meristematic activity. Then region of meristematic activity. Then third portion is region of elongation. Then region of maturation and root hairs. Okay, 5 different parts or types of regions of roots are there. First of all, root cap. Root cap, it is the covering at the apex of root. As you can see, it is the covering portion. It covers the root apex. Okay, it protects the tender apex of the root because this portion goes deep into the soil, so it protects the root from the soil hardness. Okay, soil's hardness, it protects the root. Next, region of meristematic activity seen above the root cap. Region of meristematic activity where many meristematic tissue and cells are present. Meristematic cells are called dividing cells. You also familiar with this term in class 9 tissue chapter. So region of meristematic activity seen above the root cap. Here the cells are very small, thin with a dense protoplasm. They divide repeatedly with the help of different growth hormone like oxygen, gibberellin. Okay. Third is region of elongation. The region just above the meristematic region. Region of elongation. As you can see in the diagram. Here the cells undergo rapid elongation and enlargement, help in growth of the root in length and width also. So this is the region of elongation. It is found just above the meristematic region, and here the cells undergo rapid elongation and enlargement. Okay, helps in growth of the root in the length. Next, fourth is region of maturation. This region proximal to elongation zone. This region proximal to elongation zone or above the elongation zone. Here the cells differentiate and mature. In the elongation portion, the cells differentiate and they become permanent cells or mature. Okay. And the last one is root hair. Very fine, delicate thread-like structure formed from epidermal cells in region behind the region of elongation. They absorb water and minerals from the soil. So root hairs are the main regions where the water and minerals are absorbed from the soil to the plant's different parts. Okay. So these are very fine, delicate. Delicate means नाजुक. Okay. हिंदी में कहेंगे तो नाजुक. Okay. Very fine, delicate thread-like structures. Next, modification of the root. Modification of the root. In some plant, roots are modified to perform functions other than absorption and conduction. In some plants, roots are modified to perform functions. We all know the main function of the root is absorption and conduction. Absorption of water and minerals and conduct to other parts of the plant. But there are some plants whose roots are modified to perform different functions other than absorption and conduction. Example, swollen roots for food storage. As you can see in the diagram, in carrot, the roots are swollen for food storage, prop root, stilt roots and pneumatophores. We are going through all of these. So first of all, swollen root for food storage. Example, tap root of carrot, turnip are adventitious roots of sweet potato. So they store the extra starch, extra food material, starch in them. That's why they become swollen. Example, tap root of carrot, turnip and adventitious roots of sweet potato. Prop root, they are the hanging structures that support the banyan tree. Prop root, as you can see in the banyan tree, the roots are supporting the banyan tree, so these are called prop root. And then is stilt root. These are also supporting root coming out from the lower node of the stem. As you can see, lower node of the stem, these are coming out and main function is to supporting the plant. Example, maize and sugarcane. Next, Pneumatophores. Pneumatophores, it's the important point. Many times this topic asked in the exam. So the roots that are coming out of the ground and grows vertically upward to get oxygen for respiration. Example, rhizophora growing in swampy area. So what are pneumatophores? Pneumatophores are the root that coming out of the ground and they grow vertically upward to grow oxygen, to get oxygen for respiration. Example, rhizophora growing in the swampy area. As you can see the diagram, it is a swampy area or a mangrove area where the rhizophora comes out from the soil and grows vertically upward to get oxygen for respiration of the plant. Because all the time, 24 hours, these soils are surrounded by water and they become swampy. Okay, so that's why it does not get to proper oxygen for its respiration. That's why the roots coming out, they grow vertically upward, comes out from the soil, ground for respiration. Next, function of the root. As you can see, what are the main functions? Absorption of water and minerals from the soil, it is the main function. Provide a proper anchorage to the plant part, it is the second main function. Third, storage of reserve food material, starch, and fourth is synthesis of plant growth regulators. Synthesis of plant growth regulators, that is different type of hormones, auxins, gibberellin, cytokinin. Okay, so they are the main function of the root. Next, come to the stem. See the diagram. In stem, as you can see, different portions are there. It is the ascending part of the axis that develops from the plumule of the embryo of a germinating seed. It is the ascending part of the axis which develops from the plumule. As you can see, the shoot system or future shoot of the seed is called plumule and the future root is called radicle. So as you can see in the diagram, plumule and radicle. Okay, epicotyl and hypocotyl are given the name which are going through the term epicotyl and hypocotyl. So before it, you just remember the term radicle and plumule. In root system, we cover the radicle portions and now the plumule portions are there. So it is the ascending part of the axis that develops from the plumule of the embryo of a germinating seed. It bears branches, leaves, flowers, fruits, buds, nodes and internodes. Okay. Nodes are the region, the stem where leaves are borne. As you can see, what are nodes? Nodes is labeled here, and where the leaves are borne, this portion is called a node. Okay, these portions are called node. Clear? And internodes are the portions between the two nodes. Between the two nodes, the portion is called internode. Young stem is generally green and later often become woody and dark brown. Next, functions of the stem. Spreading out branches bearing leaves, flower and fruits. It is the main function of the stem. It conducts water, minerals and photosynthesis. Okay, the chemicals required for photosynthesis are called photosynthesis. Some stems help in food storage, support, protection and vegetative propagation. Food storage like in ginger and in potato. Potato is the underground stem that store food, store extra starch and the sugar cane also, and it also gives support to the plant and protection and vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation, we are all familiar with the rose plant, okay, where we can see the cutting portion of the healthy stem grows into a new plant. Next is the modification of the stem for food storage: stem tendril, thorns, phylloclade, stolon, offset, sucker. We are going to all the points of the modification of the stem. Okay, stems modified for food storage, stem tendrils, thrones, phylloclad, stolon, offset, suckers. First of all, for food storage. Example, underground stems of potato, ginger, turmeric, jamaican, colocasia, etc. They are for food storage. Underground stems are there. They also act as organs of perennation to tide over conditions unfavorable for growth. Organs of perennation means they are perennating organ. These are the organ in plant that help them to survive from one germinating season to the next. These organs store nutrient and help plant to survive in unfavorable conditions like winter or drought. Okay, that are called organs of perennation. So these underground stems also act as organs of perennation that tide over the conditions for unfavorable for the growth, and when the favorable conditions arise, they again regrow the plant. Okay. Next, stem tendril, slender and spirally coiled structure developed from axillary bud. They help plants to climb. Example, gourds, that is cucumber, pumpkins, watermelons and grapevines. These are called stem tendrils. Next is throne. Throne is the woody, straight and pointed structure developed from axillary bud. They protect plant from browsing animals. Example, citrus and bougainvillea. As you can see, thrones are there. These are woody, straight and pointed structure, and they develop from axillary buds. Next is phylloclad. Phylloclad means leaf-like branches. Phylloclad means leaf-like branch. It is a green, flattened or fleshy, cylindrical stem containing chlorophyll for photosynthesis. Found in some plant of arid region. Arid region means dry land that are defined by a scarcity of water is called arid regions. That is in the desert area. Okay, where there is very less water or no water is found. So phylloclads are found in desert plants. Example, opuntia, flattened stem, as you can see in the diagram, and euphorbia, cylindrical stem. Next is stolon. Stolon, it is a slender lateral branch that arises from the base of the main axis. As you can see, slender lateral branch arises from the main axis and after growing aerially for some time, arch downward to touch the ground. After growing aerially for some time, it arches down and touch the ground. Example, plants like mint and jasmine, they have stolons. Next, offset. Offset, it is also a lateral branch with short internodes and each node bearing a rosette of leaves and tuft of roots. It is also a lateral branch which grows side by side with a short internode. The internode is short one. Okay, and each node bearing a rosette of leaves. Rosette means a circular arrangement of leaf or other organ. So rosette means a circular arrangement of leaves. Okay. And tuft of root means a bunch or cluster of small, soft and flexible part. That is called tuft of roots. As you can see in the diagram, example, aquatic plants like Pistia and Ecornia. They have offset stem. They have offset stem. Next is sucker. Sucker means it is the lateral branch that originates from the basal underground portion of the main stem. It is the lateral branch that originates from the basal underground portion of the main stem. As you can see in the diagram, it grows horizontally beneath the soil and comes out obliquely upward, giving rise to a leafy shoot. Example, banana, pineapple and chrysanthemum. Okay, these are the examples of sucker stem. Next, modification of the stem. Underground stems of some plant, example grass and strawberry, spread to new niches when older parts die and new plants are formed. As you can see in the diagram, underground stem of some plant, grass and strawberry, they spread to the new niches. Niches means the role of an organism plays in its ecosystem is called niches. So they spread to new niches, and when older parts die, new plants are formed. So it is also a modification of the stem. Now come to the next one, the leaf. The leaf, it is a lateral flattened structure borne on the stem. Lateral flattened structure which grows on the stem. It develops at the node and bears a bud in its axil. So it develops at the node, as you can see in the diagram. Here it is the node, also it labeled here, and bears a bud, bears a axillary bud, okay, and then and in its axil also labeled here, as you can see. Next, the axillary bud later develops into a branch. The axillary bud later develops into a branch. Leaves originate from shoot apical meristem and are arranged in an acropetal order. So leaves originate from shoots apical meristem, okay, and are arranged in an acropetal order. Acropetal order, what does it mean? As you can see in this diagram, it is a acropetal order, okay, acropetal order like this. They are important vegetative organ for photosynthesis. Obviously, we all know leaves are called kitchen of the plant, so they are important vegetative organ, helps in photosynthesis. There are three main parts of a typical leaf, and that are leaf base, petiole, and lamina or leaf blade. As you can see the diagram, leaf base, petiole, and lamina. They are the three main portions of the leaf. Okay, leaf base, petiole, and lamina. Next, first of all, leaf base. With this, the leaf attached to the stem. So leaf base is the portion where the leaf attached to the stem. It may bear two lateral leaf-like structure called stipules. It may bear two leaf-like structure that are called stipules. As you can see in the diagram, stipules are present like here. It is labeled like here. Leaf-like structure but not leaf. Okay, they are called stipules. Here also stipules present. Next, in monocots, the leaf base expand into a sheath covering the stem partially or wholly. In monocots, the leaf base expand into a sheath covering the stem partially or wholly. As you can see, the sheath is present here and it covers partially or even fully. Okay. In some leguminous plant, the leaf base may become swollen and it is called pulvinous. In some leguminous plant or pulses plant, leaf base may become swollen like this. It becomes swollen and that is called pulvinous. Okay, pulvinous leaf. Next, petiole. Second part of the leaf is petiole. It helps to hold the leaf blade to light. It helps to hold the leaf blade to the light portion so that it can get much more light for photosynthesis, sunlight for photosynthesis. Long, thin, flexible petioles allow leaf blades to flutter in wind, thereby cooling leaf and bringing fresh air to the leaf surface. So, if the leaf petiole is long, so it helps the leaf to flutter in the wind, which helps the leaf for cooling, and it also brings the fresh air to the leaf surface. Next is lamina or leaf blade. The green expanded part with veins and veinlets are called lamina or leaf blade. The middle prominent vein is called midrib. Veins provide rigidity to the lamina and act as channels of transport of water, minerals and food materials. So the green expanded part of with veins and veinlets are called lamina. Okay, and the middle prominent vein is called midrib, as here labeling is there, midrib. Lamina or leaf blade is also labeled here. And what are the functions of this lamina? Veins provide rigidity to the lamina. The veins which are attached like this, veins, they provide rigidity, stiffness to the lamina or to the leaf, and it also acts as channels for transport of water, mineral and food materials. Okay. Next, venation. What do you mean by venation? That the arrangement of veins and veinlets in the leaf lamina. As you can see here, it is the midrib or main vein, and then here are some branches like this. Okay, so it is a type of venation, and in some the midrib like this, and then venations are like this. Okay, the veins and veinlets are like this. So there are two different type of venations, reticulate and parallel venation. Let's start. First one, reticulate venation. Here the veinlets form a network. As you can see in the diagram, here the veinlets forms a network like structures like this. Okay, it is seen in dicotyledons. So reticulate venation means that plant is dicot plant. Okay, no need to break the seed into two half, or no need to see the main root. Okay, so you just see the or check the leaf, and you can also identify the venation or the cotyledon of the plant, either it is dicot or monocot. Okay, so in dicot, reticulate venations are found where the veinlet forms a network like this. Okay, next is parallel venation. Here the veins run parallel to each other within the lamina. As you can see in the banana tree, a banana plant, here the veins run parallel each other within a lamina. It is seen in monocotyledons. Okay, next, types of leaves. Types of leaves coming to simple and compound leaf, and compound leaf divided into two parts, pinnately compound, palmately compound. First of all, let's start the simple leaf. In simple leaf, the leaf lamina is entire, or when incised, the incisions do not touch the midrib. First of all, leaf lamina is entire like this. Entire leaf lamina. Okay, circular type. And if it is incised, incised means this portion is called incised like this. This is called incised, or this is also called incised. Okay, if it is incised, then the incisions do not touch the midrib. The incisions do not touch the midrib. Okay, they are called simple leaf. They are called simple leaf. And coming to the compound leaf, here the incisions of the lamina reach up to the midrib, breaking it into a number of leaflets. And in compound leaf, what are there? The incisions of the lamina reach up to the midrib, breaking it into number of leaflets like this. Here the lamina is connected to the midrib. Okay, a bud is seen in the axil of the petiole in simple compound leaves, but not in the axil of leaflets of the compound leaf. Compound leaf are two types, pinnately compound, palmately compound. As you can see in the diagram, pinnately compound branches, palmately compound. First of all, pinnately compound. In this, a number of leaflets are present on a common axis called rachis, which represent the midrib of the leaf. As you can see in this diagram, pinnately compound leaf. Okay, example, neem. Palmately compound means in this leaflets are attached at a common point at the tip of the petiole, at a common point. Okay, example, silk cotton. You can see in this diagram, palmately compound leaf. Next is phyllotaxy. Phyllotaxy means it is the arrangement of the leaf on the stem or a branch. Arrangement of the leaf on the stem or a branch is called phyllotaxy. It is three types: alternate, opposite and whorled. Arrangement of leaf on the stem or a branch. Three types: alternate, opposite and whorled. First of all, alternate. In this, a single leaf arises at each node in alternating manner. As you can see in the diagram, alternating manner, and it is the proper diagram of the leaf. Example: China rose, mustard, sunflower, etc. They have alternate phyllotaxy. Opposite means in this a pair of leaves arise at each node and lie opposite to each other. Example: Calotropis and guava. Like this, opposite. Okay. And whorled. In this, more than two leaves arise at a node and forms a whorl. Example: Alstonia. Like this, whorled leaf, Alstonia. Next is modification per leaf. Leaves are modified to perform functions other than photosynthesis. Example: tendrils for climbing. Example: pea. Spine for defense. Example: cacti. Fleshy leaf to store food. Example: onion and garlic. These are the modified leaves. They perform functions other than photosynthesis. In some plants such as Australian acacia, the leaves are small and short-lived. Their petiole expand and becomes green and synthesize food. Important point: in some plants such as Australian acacia, the leaves are small and short-lived like this. Australian acacia leaves are small and short-lived, and the petiole expand. The petiole, modified stalk or petiole, as you can see, it expands, become green and synthesize food. Leaves of some insectivorous plant, pitcher plant, Venus flytrap plant are also modified leaves. Okay. Next, the flower and the inflorescence. Important one. Well, all the points, all the topic are important in this chapter, and many questions are coming in the NEET and CUET exam. So, fully concentratedly listen to this video, watch this video with your NCERT book. The flower and the inflorescence. A flower is a modified shoot wherein the shoot apical meristem changes to floral meristem. It is a modified shoot where the shoot apical meristem converts or changes into floral meristem. Internodes do not elongate and the axis get condensed. Internodes do not elongate and the axis gets enclosed. The apex produces various floral appendages laterally at the successive nodes instead of leaves. Floral appendages means these are the main part of the flower, including sepals, petals, androecium, gynoecium. Part of flower is called floral appendage. Okay, so apex produces various floral appendages laterally at successive nodes instead of leaves. When a shoot tip transfers into flower, it is solitary. Okay, when a shoot tip transforms into a flower, it becomes solitary and single. Arrangement of cluster of flower on a floral axis is called inflorescence. So, what do you mean by inflorescence? The arrangement of flower on a floral axis or on a branch is called inflorescence. Based on whether the apex gets converted into flower or continuous grow, inflorescence are two types: racemose and cymose. There are two different types of inflorescence: racemose and cymose. First of all, racemose. Racemose means in this the main axis continues to grow. Flowers are borne laterally in an acropetal succession. The main axis continues to grow like this. The main axis continues to grow. Okay, and flowers are borne laterally in acropetal succession. Laterally flowers will borne. Acropetal succession means older flowers grows downside and younger flowers grows in the top side, as you can see in the diagram. This type of arrangement is called racemose and also called acropetal succession. In cymose, the main axis terminates in a flower, hence is a limited in growth. The flowers are borne in basipetal order. Means, as you can see in this diagram, older flowers are in the top portions and new flowers comes in the bottom portions. Okay, like this. This is called cymose inflorescence. Next, the flower. It is the reproductive unit in the angiosperms. It is the meant for sexual reproduction. A flower has a stalk or pedicel, as you can see in the diagram. It is swollen and is called thalamus or receptacle. So some new terms are there: pedicel like this, and receptacle or thalamus. Reduced leaf found at the base of the pedicel is called bract. Reduced leaf found at the base of the pedicel, that is called bract. Flowers with bract are called bracteate, and those without bract are called ebracteate. Next, a typical flower has 4 kind of whorl arrangement on thalamus. Okay, 4 kind of whorls or arrangement on the thalamus: calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium. So see this. What do you mean by calyx? Now group of sepals are called calyx. Sepals, you familiar with this term? Sepal, small green color portion which helps in the covering of the flower where it is in a bud position. They are called sepals. Petals are the colorful portions of the flower. They attract the insect for pollination. And group of petals are called corolla. Androecium, stamen, you are familiar with it. Male reproductive organ of the flower is called stamen, and group of stamen is called androecium. And carpel or pistil, it is the female reproductive organ, that is called carpel or pistil, and group of carpel is called gynoecium, and it have 3 portions: style, stigma, ovary, and stamen is 2 portions: anther and filament. So androecium and gynoecium are the reproductive organ, calyx and corolla are the accessory organs. So a flower has 4 kind of whorls or arrangement on the thalamus. Next, in some flower like lily, the calyx and corolla are not distinct. It is termed as perianth. So what are the perianth? Now in some flowers, calyx and corolla are not distinct. You cannot identify which one is a calyx or which one is the corolla. So it is termed as perianth, or you can say perianth is a non-reproductive part of a flower consisting of floral leaves surrounding the androecium and gynoecium. When a flower has both androecium and gynoecium, it is bisexual. Obviously, if a flower has both male reproductive organ or group of stamen and group of pistil or gynoecium, it is called bisexual. And a flower having either only stamen or either only androecium or only gynoecium, it is called unisexual. Next, types of flower. Based on symmetry, flowers are 3 types: actinomorphic, radial symmetry; zygomorphic, bilateral symmetry; asymmetric or irregular. As you can see, actinomorphic or radial symmetry, you all familiar with this term, radial symmetry in animal kingdom. So here actinomorphic flower, okay, the new term is used, actinomorphic. So here you can see, you can cut in any plane of the flower, you can easily get 2 equal part of the flower, okay, it is called radial symmetry. Bilateral means you only cut only 2 half of the flower are called zygomorphic. And in asymmetric, if you cut any plane in this flower, you cannot get equal half of the particular flower, that are called asymmetric or irregular. So new term are there: actinomorphic, zygomorphic, asymmetric. Actinomorphic or radial symmetry, here a flower can be divided into 2 equal radial half in any radial plane passing through the center. Example: mustard, datura and chili. Second, zygomorphic bilateral symmetry. Here a flower can be divided into 2 similar halves only in one vertical plane. Example: pea, gulmohar, bean and cassia, as you can see in the diagram. Next is asymmetric or irregular. Here a flower cannot be divided into two similar halves by any vertical plane passing through the center. Example, Canna indica. As you can see in the diagram, you cannot divide this flower into two equal halves. Okay, so it have asymmetric or irregular type. Next, based on number of floral appendages, flowers are many types. Floral appendages, as I told you, floral appendages, what are they? They are the main part of flower, including sepals, petals, androecium, gynoecium, that are called floral appendages. So, number of floral appendages, flowers are many types. That is trimerous, means floral appendages are multiple of 3 trimerous, as you can see the diagram. Trimerous. Tetramerous, floral appendages are multiple of 4 part में divide है tetramerous. And pentamerous, floral appendages are multiple of 5, pentamerous. Next, based on the position of calyx, corolla and androecium in respect to the ovary on thalamus, the flowers are also 3 types. Based on the position of calyx, corolla and androecium in respect to the ovary on thalamus, flowers are 3 types: hypogynous, perigynous and epigynous. As you can see in the diagram, hypogynous, perigynous, epigynous. What is hypogynous? Here the gynoecium occupies the highest position while the other part situated below it. As you can see in the diagram, hypogynous flower, where the gynoecium and the female reproductive organ, it occupies the highest position on the thalamus while the other part are situated below it. The ovary is superior. Ovary is superior. Okay. Example, mustard, China rose, brinjal. As you can see, ovary is superior. Other part just present below it. Next, perigynous. Here the gynoecium is situated in the center and other part of the flower are located on the rim of the thalamus almost at the same level. Perigynous means gynoecium is situated at the center and also other part of the flower are located on the rim of thalamus almost the same level. Ovary is half inferior. Example, plum, rose and peach. They are called perigynous. Third is epigynous. Here the margin of thalamus grows upward, enclosing the ovary completely and getting fused with it. Other part of the flower arises above the ovary and the ovary is inferior. Okay. Top of the ovary, other part are present, that are called epigynous. Example, guava, cucumber, ray floret of sunflower. See the diagram, you can easily identify it and understand the term epigynous. Next part of a flower, calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium. You are familiar with this term? Calyx means group of sepals, corolla means group of petals, androecium means group of stamen, and gynoecium means group of carpel or pistil. First of all, calyx. It is the outermost hole of the flower. Obviously, after the pedicel, calyx is present. It is the outermost hole of the flower. It is made of sepals or group of sepals is called calyx. Generally, sepals are green, leaf-like and protect the flower in the bud stage. As I told you, in the flower, in the bud stage, the calyx protect the bud or the flower. The calyx may be gamosepalous or sepals are united, or polysepalous, sepals are free. So calyx may be united like this in the diagram, united, that are called gamosepalous, that sepals are united, attached to each other, and or polysepalous or sepals are free like this. Okay, polysepalous. Next, corolla. Here you can see it is the hole inner to the calyx. After the calyx, corolla is present in the thalamus and it is composed of petals or group of petals is called corolla. Petals are brightly colored. It helps to attract insects for pollination. It also, you all know the point. Corolla may be gamopetalous, petals are united, or polypetalous, petals are free. Like this in the diagram. gamopetalous, polypetalous. It is gamopetalous and this one is polypetalous. And shape and color of the corolla vary in plant, different color and different shape of the corolla, and it is also different in plants. Corolla may be tubular, bell shaped, funnel shaped or wheel shaped. Shape also different in plants, different plants. Okay, it may be tubular, bell shaped, funnel shaped or wheel shaped. Next is estivation. It is the mode of arrangement of sepals and petals in floral buds. Arrangement of sepals or petals in floral bud is called estivation. Okay, so there are four different type of estivations are there: velvet, twisted, imbricate, vexillary or papilionaceous. Other name of vexillary is the papilionaceous. Okay, so four different type of estivations are present, means the arrangement of sepals or petals in the flower. Okay, so first one, velvet, twisted, imbricate, vexillary. This is the velvet, twisted, imbricate, vexillary. Let's start the velvet one. Sepals or petals in a whole just touch one another at the margin without overlapping. Okay, they just touch with one another but not overlapping. Example, calotropis. Okay, next, twisted estivation. One margin of the appendages overlap that are next to one and so on. One margin overlap to other and then so on, like this in the diagram. It is called twisted. Example, China rose, ladyfinger and cotton. Third is imbricate, means the margins of sepals or petals overlap on one another but not in any particular direction. They overlap one another but not in a particular direction. Example, cassia and gulmohar. It shows imbricate estivation. And the last one is vexillary or papilionaceous. In this there are 5 petals. The largest standard overlap the 2 lateral petals or wings, which in turn overlap the 2 smallest anterior petals, that is called keel. As you can see, one is the largest or standard, this one is the largest. Okay, largest or standard, which overlap 2 lateral petals, these are called wings. Okay, and then they are called keel, as you can see in this diagram. Okay, example, pea and bean. This show vexillary or papilionaceous estivation. Next, androecium. Androecium, it is composed of stamen. Or group of stamen is called androecium. Each stamen represents the male reproductive organ. A stamen consists of a stalk or filament and an anther, as you can see in the diagram. Filament or stalk and anther. If you cut the anther into 2 equal halves, then you can find this type of structure. Okay, where you can also find the lines of dehiscence. Okay, where the anther break and the pollen grain comes out. That's called lines of dehiscence. And so this is the androecium. Each anther is usually bilobed. Two lobes are there. This one is one lobe and other one is the back side of this, two lobed. Each lobe has 2 chambers called pollen sac. Each lobe has 2 chambers called pollen sac. Means this one is a chamber, this one is a chamber. Okay, 2 pollen sac are there. Pollen sac contain pollen grains, which pollen grain contain the male gamete. A sterile stamen is called staminode. Staminode means not all the stamen produce pollen grain. So there are some stamens present in the flower which are unable to produce pollen grain, that is called staminode. Or here the term sterile. Sterile means organism that does not reproduce further. or does not bring offsprings. They are called sterile. Okay, so sterile stamen is called staminode. Next, when stamen are attached to petal, they are called epipetalous. If the stamen attached to the petals, they are called epipetalous. Example, brinjal. Okay, epipetalous. And when the stamen is attached to the perianth, they are called epiphyllous. Example, lily. Epiphyllous. Perianth, what do you mean by perianth? A perianth is a non-reproductive part of a flower consisting of floral leaves surrounding the androecium and gynoecium. So when the stamen attaches to the perianth, they are called epiphyllous. Example, lily. Next, if the stamen in a flower are free, it is called polyandrous. If the stamen in a flower are free, not attached with the other stamen, they are called polyandrous. And if the stamen are united, they are called synandrous. See the diagram? You can easily learn the term. Okay, polyandrous and synandrous. Synandrous stamen are many types. Synandrous stamens are many types: monodelphous, didelphous and polydelphous. Monodelphous stamens are united into one bunch or one bundle. Example, China rose. As you can see, monodelphous. Didelphous means stamens are united into two bundles. Example, P, it is didelphous. Polyadelphous stamens are united into more than two bundles. Example, citrus. Polyadelphous. Next, there may be a variation in the length of a filament within flower. Example, salvia and mustard. So, there is a variation of the length of the filament within a flower. Salvia and mustard. Okay, as you can see, salvia and mustard, the length of the filament is variable. This one is the longer one, while this one is the shorter one. Here also in the mustard, longer one, shorter one, longer one, like this. Short and long are there. Next, gynoecium. Gynoecium or pistil is the female reproductive part of the flower and is made up of one or more carpels or pistils. Okay, a carpel has three parts: style or stigma, style and ovary. Stigma, it is usually at the tip of the style and is the receptive surface for pollen grain. Stigma is the tip of the style and it receives the pollen grain from other male flowers of the same plant or same flower. Okay, same species of the pollen grain comes to the stigma and attach with it. So it is the receptive surface of the pollen grain. Style, an elongated tube that connects the ovary to the stigma. It is called style. And in style, the pollen tube grows inside. Okay, and ovary, it is the enlarged basal part on which the style lies. Basal means lower part on which the style lies. Each ovary bears one or more ovule attached to a flat cushion-like placenta. One or more ovules are present in ovary. Polycarpellary pistil means pistils many carpel are two types. If a pistil having many carpels, okay, or if a gynoecium having many carpels, they are called polycarpellary pistils. And it is of two types. Apocarpus means carpels are free. Example, lotus and rose. Syncarpus means carpels are fused with each other. Example, mustard and tomato. Okay, see the diagram. Next is placentism. It is the arrangement of ovule on the placenta within the ovary. That is called placentism. Arrangement of ovules or the future seed on the placenta within the ovary. It is many types: marginal, axial, parietal, free central and basal. Marginal, axial, parietal, free central and basal. First of all, marginal. As you can see the diagram, here the placenta forms a ridge along the ventral suture of the ovary and the ovules are born on this reeds forming two rows. See the diagram? It is the ventral structure, okay, and the ovules borne on the reeds forming two rows. Ovules borne on the two rows, like this one, okay. In these two rows, the ovules are borne. Example P. Axial. Here the placenta is axial and the ovules are attached to it in a multilocular ovary. Placenta is axial, as you can see in the diagram. Example China rose, tomato and lemon. Parietal. Here the ovules develop on the inner wall of the ovary or on the peripheral part. Ovary is one chambered but it becomes two chambered due to the formation of false septum. Example mustard and argemone. Parietal placentation. Next is precentral. Here ovules are borne on central axis and septa are absent. Example dianthus and primose, where the septa are absent. Finally the basal. Here placenta develops at the base of the ovary and a single ovule is attached to it. Example sunflower, marigold, etc. It is called basal placentation. Next is after fertilization, the ovule develops into seed and the ovary develops into a fruit. Obviously, after fertilization, the ovules develop into seed and the ovary develop into fruit. And during the development, the other part of the flower, that is sepals, petals and the stigma, style, okay, anther, filament, they all fall off because their work is done. That's why they fall off. Only ovary and ovules are there, and where the ovules develop into seed and ovary develop into fruit. Next is the fruit. It is a ripened ovary developed after fertilization. It is a characteristic feature of flowering plant. A fruit formed without fertilization of ovary is called parthenocarpic fruit. So a fruit formed without fertilization of ovary is called parthenocarpic fruit. In mango and coconut, fruit is called a drupe. They are one-seeded and develop from monocarpellary superior ovaries. So listen carefully, two new terms are there. Parthenocarpic fruit means development of fruit without fertilization of the ovary. They are called parthenocarpic fruit. Here no other gamete is required, that is male gamete is not required. Automatically the ovary develop into a fruit. That is called parthenocarpic fruit. And example is banana. Banana is a parthenocarpic fruit. In mango and coconut, fruit is called drupe because they are one-seeded and develop from monocarpellary superior ovaries. A fruit consists of pericarp or fruit wall. It may be dry or fleshy, as you can see in the diagram. Thick and fleshy pericarp is different to outer epicarp, middle mesocarp and inner endocarp. So pericarp is called fruit wall. It may be dry or fleshy. Okay, it may be differentiated to three different portions. Epicarp. In mango you can easily identify epicarp, mesocarp, endocarp. In endocarp is the hard shell of the coconut and endosperm which you eat. Okay, मलाई जिसको कहते हो, एंडोस्पर्म, and mesocarp, fibrous husk, and exocarp, outer layer. In mango, the pericarp is well differentiated into thin epicarp, fleshy edible mesocarp, and stony hard endocarp. In coconut, the mesocarp is fibrous. Next, the seed. It is a mature ovule developed after fertilization. Obviously, as I told you, ovules develop into seed. So mature ovule is called seed. A seed is made up of seed coat and an embryo. So a seed is made up of a seed coat and an embryo. Outer covering is called seed coat and inside part is called embryo. Embryo is made up of a radicle, an embryonal axis, and one or two cotyledons, one or monocot, example wheat and maize, and two cotyledon dicot, example gram and pea. This diagram you are familiar with it, seed coat, radical plumule cotyledon, and here as you can see the outermost covering of the seed is called seed coat. Outermost covering is called seed coat. Seed coat has two layers, outer testa and inner tegmen. Seed coat has also two layers, okay, outer testa and inner tegmen. Okay, you can easily identify those testa and tegmen in groundnut. The outer hard covering is called testa and inner covering of the seed. Okay, while you eating groundnut, then you can easily remove the, first you remove the testa and then you remove the tegmen. On the seed coat there is a scar called hilum through which the developing seed are attached to the fruit. So in the seed coat there is a scar or a small hole like structure where the seeds are attached to the fruit, that is called hilum. Okay, above the hilum is a small pore is called micropyle. Above the hilum there is a small pore that is called micropyle. So here you can see seed coat, hilum, micropyle, cotyledon, plumule, radicle, hilum, micropyle. In this diagram, epicotyle, hypocotyle, radicle, plumule, testa, tegmen, cotyledons. Next, structure of a dicotyledonous seed. Within the seed coat is the embryo consisting of an embryonal axis and two cotyledons. Embryonal axis and two cotyledons. Cotyledons are fleshy and full of reserved food material. At the two ends of the embryonal axis, the radicle and plumule are present. In some seeds such as castor, the endosperm is formed due to double fertilization. It is a food storing tissue. Castor. In plants such as bean, gram and pea, the seed are non-endospermous. Means endosperm is not seen in the mature seed. Okay. Bean, gram and pea. Generally, a structure of monocotyledon seed. Generally, monocot seeds are endospermic, but some are non-endospermic. Example, orchids. In cereals like maize, the seed coat is membranous and generally fused with the fruit wall. The endosperm is bulky and stored food. The outer covering of endosperm separates the embryo by protein layer called aleurone layer. See the diagram? Aleurone layer is a proteinaceous layer which separates the embryo of the endosperm. Okay? Aleurone layer. Next, the embryo is small and situated in a groove at one end of the endosperm. As you can see, embryo is small one. It is situated in the one end of the endosperm. It consists of one large and shield-shaped cotyledon known as scutellum. It consists of one large and shield-shaped cotyledon that is called scutellum. Here it is labeled scutellum. This one is your NCERT diagram, scutellum. Okay. And short axis with a plumule and radicle. And short axis, plumule and radicle. The plumule is protected in the sheath called coleoptile. Plumule protected by coleoptile. Question asked from this point. Coleoptile. Plumule is protected by in the sheath of a monocot seed called coleoptile. And radicle is protected by coleorhiza. Radicle protected by coleorhiza. Okay. Next. Semi-technical description of a typical flowering plant. Means the plant is described beginning with its habit, vegetative characters and then floral characters. Then a floral diagram and floral formula are represented. Like this, it is a floral formula of a mustard and diagram of the mustard plant, family Brassiaceae. where you can find mother axis, means it's the point where the particular flower is attached to the branch. Then calyx, this structurally like this, corolla, androecium, gynoecium, like this arrangements. Okay. So what is the symbols means? 2, 2, 4, like this comes to the next step, next page. You can see symbols are used in the floral formula. If the symbol BR is there, then bracteate, bract are present, or EBR for ebracteate. Bract, what is a bract? As we already discussed, what is a bract? K represents the calyx, C represents the corolla, capital P represents the perianth, capital A represents androecium, capital G represents gynoecium, and G and a small underline below it, it is called superior ovary. G and small line on it, it is called inferior ovary. Male, the symbol is used to female, the symbol is used to bisexual, the symbol actinomorphic. You all know actinomorphic, zygomorphic. Actinomorphic, this symbol, zygomorphic, this symbol, fusion, adhesion, these symbols. As you can see, it is a symbol. First it represents the actinomorphic, bisexual, K2 plus 2 means calyx 2 plus 2 arrangement. See the diagram. K for calyx, okay, 2 plus 2, calyx is there, 2 like this, 2, and 2 are outer side, 2 are inner side, that's why it is represent 2 plus 2. C for corolla, corolla is there, like this, corolla, 4 are present, so C4. A 2 plus 4 means androecium, 2 plus 4 means 2 are outside and 4 are inner side. That's why 2 plus 4 is used. And G underline below it, G for gynoecium, or we can say below like this, and 2 represents the 2 are there, and bracket means it is fusion. Okay. Next, in floral formula, fusion is indicated by enclosing the figure with bracket, and adhesion is by line drawn above the symbol of the floral part. Fusion, adhesion, like this. So floral formula also shows cohesion and adhesion within part of whole and in between the holes. A floral diagram gives information about the number of part of flower, their arrangement and relation. So floral diagram are easy to distinguish or identify a particular flower, the part of flower and their number, the arrangement and the relation. So let's start some important families. And as I told you in the beginning, we only go through a single family because other families NCERT direct the topic. So you only have to see the description of particular family called Solanaceae. So here the first family Fabaceae is there, which is not in your NCERT. So you are skipping this topic. And second is your Solanaceae, where we are going to cover. It is a large potato family. It is widely distributed in tropic, subtropic and even temperate zones. So the potato family is called Solanaceae. Vegetative characters, mostly herb, shrub and small tree. Stem is herbaceous, rarely woody, aerial, erect, cylindrical, branched, solid or hollow, hairy or glabrous. Underground stem in potato. Glabrous means having a smooth, even surface. It is called glabrous. Okay. Leaves are alternate, simple, rarely pinnately compound, exstipulate, venation, reticulate. So come to the floral character. As you can see, this is the floral formula. Inflorescence solitary, axillary or cymose as in solanum. Flower bisexual, actinomorphic, calyx means sepals 5, united, persistent, valvate estivation. Corolla, petals 5, united, valvate estivation. When united, this symbol is used like this. This represents the united. Okay, united. So here androecium, stamens 5, epipetalous, gynoecium, bicarpillary, syncarpus, ovary superior, bilocular, placenta swollen with many ovules. Fruit, berry or capsule, seed, many, endospermous. And economic importance, food is example tomato, brinjal, potato, spices example chili, medicine, belladonna, ashwagandha, fumigatory tobacco, ornamental petunia or datura. These are the economic importance of the family Solanaceae. And with this, Solanaceae family is completed. Next is your Liliaceae family, which is not in your NCERT, so you are not going to explain. I am not going to explain to you. And with this, your chapter Morphology of Flowering Plant is completed. I hope this video will helpful to you by seeing the particular slides, particular diagram, the topic which you are not understand in your NCERT, you can easily understand in this video. I hope this video will helpful to you for gaining more knowledge about this topic, about this chapter. Many questions which are coming in NEET exams, UT exam, I told you, and I also made another video where you can get the particular questions which are coming from each chapter in each year. So like this video if you are new, and comment if you want to, and share it with your friends. And if you are new to this video, first time you are watching, then subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon. Thank you. Jai Jagannath.